Hello, I'm Bernard Keevy. Today I'm going to cover how to exponentially grow your profit and also exponentially grow the price for which you could sell your business should you ever wish to. So we'll start off with this diagram over here, which is called a break-even chart. And the way this works is you have money up here and you have volume along here. So the green line represents your sales revenue. So if you're not selling anything, your sales revenue is zero, and as you sell more, your sales revenue goes up proportionately. The red line represents your costs. Now your costs start with a certain degree of fixed overheads, and then depending on the type of business you are, you may or may not have direct costs. So that line might go up or it might go horizontally across. But either way, your costs go on the red line there. And where the green line eventually overtakes the red line is where your revenue starts to exceed your costs, and you turn your loss here into profit up there. And where they cross here is called the break-even point. Now the interesting thing is, if you can make your red line start lower and go up flatter, then your break-even point is lower. And if you can get the green line to go up more steeply, then again your break-even point is lower. And as you flatten the red one and make the green one steeper, the gap between them gets bigger, which means you make more profit once you're past your break-even point. So how does that work? Well, the effects can be dramatic even if you only make a few small differences. So what I've done here is I've mapped out the key variables. So starting with our leads and how many we convert into customers. So here we've got 1,000 leads converting 25% into customers, 250. They buy from us 10 times a year and spend $100 or pounds each time. So our turnover would be 250,000. Our variable costs, so the cost of supplying these things that we're selling, the cost of making them or buying them in is 60, and we're selling them for 100. So each time we sell one, we make a contribution towards our overheads and our profit of 40. Our gross margin is what we make on everything we sell, the 40 divided by the price, which is 100. So our gross margin is 40%. Our gross profit is therefore 40% of our turnover, which is 40% of 250,000, which is 100,000. We've got other overheads, so that will be things like wages, salaries, rents, other fixed costs that we have to pay. They are 50,000. So therefore, our operating profit is our gross profit here minus the 50,000, which gives us 50,000 here. And operating profit is basically the profit we make on our normal activities before we pay financing costs, loans, etc., interest. Now, where I've put a red asterisk, what we're going to do is we're going to aim to make small, over the course of a year, 10% improvements in those 4 key areas. Now, if you think about it, 10% in 4 areas is 40%. So what we're saying is we're going to find time to work on our business, and we're going to make less than 1% a week improvement in one of those 4 key areas, less than 1% a week. If, say, we found an hour a day, we would think that'd be a very easy thing to do. And I've also asterisked these 2 variable costs and overheads here, and what we're going to do here is we're going to examine them closely, and we're going to try and find 5%, that's all, just a 5% reduction in our variable costs, so things like negotiating with suppliers, maybe pruning our number of suppliers, maybe cutting our stock levels, and we'll save 5% on our overheads, so looking at things like utility and energy bills and other sort of supplies. Now, if we could achieve that, so all we've done is 10% increases here and 5% reductions in our costs here. When we work the numbers through here, what we find is that our gross profit goes from 100,000 to 175,000 just by making those small changes, and our operating profit, our bottom line profit, more than doubles to 128,000. And all we've done is we've increased our leads by 10%, we've converted 10% more of them, and there's strategies to do all of this that I can show you. We've got people to buy slightly more frequently and spend slightly more on average here, which makes a big difference to our turnover, 366,000. And we've looked very closely at our costs and find 5% savings. But what if we went a step beyond that? What if we said, well, we'll still stick on the 5% cost reductions because, there's probably not going to be loads more that we'll find. We could find 10, but we'll leave it conservative at 5 on the cost reductions. But what we'll say is on the other areas, why not aim to make a 1% a week improvement in each of them, just 1% a week in each of them, which would then give us 50% improvements. So we'd end up with 1,500 leads instead of 1,000. we'd end up with a 37.5 conversion rate instead of 25. They'd buy 15 times instead of 10, and they'd spend 150 on average instead of 100. Doing these things automatically increases our gross margin. So here, where we found the 10% increases, our gross margin went up from 40 to 48%. And where we find the 50% increases, our gross margin goes up from 40 to 62. So basically what it means is not only are you selling more, but you're making more profit as a percentage on the extra that you're selling. If we work those numbers through, our bottom line profit is now 737, which is 1474%. So in other words, well over 1,000%, almost 15 times as much profit as we were making before. So you can see the effect is huge. Now, when you bear in mind that the selling price for your business, if you were to sell it, is a multiple of your profit. It's basically earnings where you add back on the, where you don't, you earnings before interest, before tax, and then you add back depreciation and amortization. And you also normally would add back anything you pay to the director. So you would pay back wages and wages and dividend paid to the director, or salary and dividend paid to the director. But basically, what you sell for is a multiple of your profit. But the interesting thing is, the higher the profit for each particular category of business, and it depends on the class of business you're in. But generally, the higher the profit, the higher the multiple as well. So again, it's a multiplied result. So you can see here, small changes can make a huge difference to your bottom line profit, and that will make a huge difference to the valuation of your business should you ever decide that you've received an offer and it's worth accepting. You know, it'll just become much more attractive. So that's how it all works. Small changes in 4 key areas plus a few small savings in costs can transform any business. So I hope you found that interesting and informative, and that's Bernard Keevy showing you how small changes can make an exponential difference to your profit and an exponential difference to the value of your business. Thank you very much for watching. To find out how to apply these strategies in your business, go to my Sales Accelerator Roadmap. I'll produce a free assessment of your marketing using an algorithm program and produce a 12-page detailed report. We'll recommend in priority order exactly what you should be doing, when you should be doing it, and how to do it. So go to www.bernardkeevymentor.com and sign up for my free Sales Accelerator Roadmap. You'll see this screen. It'll show you the Sales Accelerator Roadmap, which is free today. It'll show you how to fix your marketing, increase your sales and profits. It'll take less than 45 minutes to do, and our software will pinpoint all your opportunity areas and show you exactly what to do to improve your marketing and grow your business. So go to www.bernardkeevymentor.com and click on the green button, and you'll see that it says there it's a free process, so there's no credit card involved, there's no charge. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you found that useful, and I'd like to see you at the Sales Accelerator Roadmap. Thank you very much for watching this video.